Yo, we have hit 12 o'clock on the dot. Let me lower this real quick. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Real quick. Hey. What? Come on, camera. You can do it. There you go. That's right. The ESBC. You know what I'm saying? The ESBC controller, baby. Yo, what y'all think about this, man? This thing look crazy. Look. Even the buttons is modified. This is like a full mod. Like, this is not just a skin. The buttons got changed. The color scheme. Like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. How you guys doing out there, by the way, man? How's everybody? You gonna make me cry? Let's go, champ. That's right. Let's go, champ is right. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I got the comments. Let's see. Yeah, I think we got it. All right, I think we got the comments system going. Do you have paddles on this? Nah, I don't have paddles on this. I do, however, have an Xbox Elite controller, and on this bad boy, I literally just popped the magnet. What? How did I? Oh, here we go. Yeah, on this bad boy, I do have paddles. ESBC is looking 80% on latest build. Yeah. Oh, what's up, guys? Yeah. I mean, that's what Sean Porter said. You know, I don't know how factual that is, but it is what it is. From what I played, it didn't look like super ready, and I can't imagine that their build is so far away from ours. I feel like definitely it's much more advanced, but I can't imagine that it's so far away. So yeah, so that's my thought on that. I know you guys want to see the prize. I know you guys want to see the card. The Muhammad Ali signed card that your boy won in the tournament at the USA ESBC tournament. Was the shoulder rolls rewarding? Yes. And the weird thing is that it was you gotta rock the ESBC shirt. Hold up. Wait. What? Yeah, sorry. If I'm talking about your question, I gotta put it on the screen. I'm so sorry about that. Kwine, yes, it was rewarding. It was very weird though too, because when I did the weave without the shoulder roll, without having the Philly shell up, like it didn't feel good because of its limitation in terms of the range of the weave. And I was watching King Juice just put out a video talking about the things that he didn't like, and like I want to add some like additional like kind of comments. Which the cool thing about it is it shows how different our experiences were. How some of the things. The game is so deep that even if you play it for 2 days straight, there's some things that you probably don't even like do. You know what I mean? So for example, one thing that I want to talk about is when King Juice talked about the step in, like the step where you just flick it in. So if you flick it in, right? If you flick this in, your fighter would step in, right? But you can't punch. He's correct. You can't punch during that animation until it finishes, which makes the animation dangerous if you step right into range, right? However, if you stepped and press an attack button at the same time, your fighter actually does a step in attack. So for example, but in a realistic distance, it's not like Fight Night where you can be halfway across the ring and then boom, smack your opponent. No, a realistic distance, you'll come in, boom, like with a step in, boom, or a step in, boom, whatever kind of punch you do. And I actually did it a lot to them. Like I actually did it a lot when I was playing with them. I'll be kind of just outside of range, wait for them to come slightly inside of range, and then I would do the step in hook and I would catch them a lot with it. So he was saying that he wanted to see it in there, but that's already in there. That's already in there. It's just a different mechanic. But that's the cool thing about the game, is that it's so deep. There are things that people were doing that I wasn't doing, that I didn't know, was in there or whatever. And regarding he was talking about the weave. He was talking about the weave. I saw it in his new video. He said he liked the weave. I strongly disagree with him. And it's not a diss to him or anything like that. He likes it, and that's fine. It's all, opinion, based. But the way he was explaining it, right? He was saying that if you go like this, you're gonna be super off balance. And that is true, but you don't weave that way. When you weave like this, right? So you could actually go super low and still be in balance. I mean, Floyd Mayweather would dip really low going to his right a lot, The cool thing about the weave is that it's completely controlled by your range of motion. So if you wanted to have a smaller movement, more lighter movement, you just have to move the analog slightly. If you want to have like a super big movement, you move the analog, like with more aggression all the way to the bottom. I think that it's good to give you the freedom of dipping like that, dipping like give you the freedom of pulling back, getting a good pullback. I think that's an important thing. So although, he likes it, I think that it's better to give us a bigger range of motion and let us control the range of motion the way we want. If we want to do little movements, like how it is in the game, we do the little movements. If we want to go a little bit further, we go a little bit further, all depending on your feel during the fight. So those are the two things that I just gonna mention from his video that I saw, but just wanted to put that out there. But like I said, we're all different. We all experience it differently, and he likes what he saw. I didn't really like the weave at all. Which was your favorite fighter to use? This is a no-brainer for me. It was Kell Brook. Oh man, I feel like I feel a little bit like I'm kind of picking on King Juice. I'm 100% not trying to pick on him, but he was saying like Kell Brook felt big, right? And Kell Brook's reach felt mad long. Like for some reason he was using Terrence Crawford, and he felt like he couldn't hit Kell Brook. Well, I was really the only person who ever used Kell Brook. I don't think anyone else used him. I could be wrong, but if they used them, maybe in the beginning once, but the person who predominantly used Kell Brook was me. And I think what happened in our fight, because my reach was not longer than Terrence Crawford. I think what ended up happening, why I felt big to him when we were playing, was because I literally was moving in and out of range in very deceptive ways. Like I was so deceptive that it looked like I was still in the same spot. But when I throw my combination, I'm in range. But as I'm throwing my last combination, I'm slightly moving back. But because you're seeing all this different motion, it's almost like the magician that, you know what I'm saying? The magician that pretends like, oh, this is in this hand, and he grabs it, but really, it's still in his hand. It's one of those kind of things. You're so preoccupied by my punches on top that while I'm punching that last punch, I'm taking a slight step back. Now you think, oh, it's your turn to punch. You start punching and none of your punches touch me because I stepped right outside of range. Like I stepped right outside subtly, like with a subtle movement, so he wasn't aware that I was doing it. So the illusion is that I can hit him, but he can't hit me. But in reality, that's not what was happening. It really was just the subtle movements that I was doing when playing the game, which is super fire. And that's what makes the game like just an amazing thing, man. It's so deep. There's so many things you could do. Did you find any exploits or any way a player could cheese in the game? Yeah, we all found the exploit. It was the body shots, because if you do body shots, especially if you do a power modifier body shot, what ends up happening is the body gets hurt super fast. So it makes everyone have to overcompensate and worry about the body. And people, took, advantage of that. And it makes sense because it's in the game. You're going to do it. You're going to do what works, what could give you the win. I still remember my fight with King Juice was literally my favorite fight because it was a very edge of your seat. It was a very edge of your seat type fight. Hold on, let me make sure. Do I got my background music on? Yeah, I do. All right, it was a very edge of your seat type fight because he got me to one tap. He actually got me to one tap. And the craziest thing is that up until that point, no one had survived one tap. No one. But like the event was so elevated in my mind, and like my will to win was so elevated that I was doing crazy, never before seen elusiveness where he wouldn't even touch me. Like he's trying, but like I'm literally mixing loose footwork with textbook, with loose footwork, surprising him with combos, stepping away, rotating, check punch, pulling away, moving towards the rope, stepping this way, stepping this way, stepping this way, breaking this way, spinning around. I was doing so many things, and it would be like 2 minutes of me like literally just being super elusive. And I survived, and I think that was probably the only fight that in the whole tournament that anybody ever survived the one tap exploit that the game had. But it was absolutely amazing. That's what made that fight so polarizing to me, and literally my favorite fight that I've ever had with King Juice, because he said he was like, oh, I'm going for the exploit, right? But he didn't do it like, he wasn't just like a robot just going for my body. He did it in really smart ways. Like the way he would cut off the ring and the way he would kind of preoccupy me. He wouldn't throw it down there. He'd throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up, throw it up. And then it's like, is he ever gonna go boom? He'll hit me right there in the body. And then it was like a smart way of doing it. And he built it up. And I was on one tap, but I survived, man. I survived. Me and Coach's fight was just like a fight, like a chess match. That was the when Todd Grisham said, "Oh, this is the most boring fight ever," because we was playing high level chess basically. Me and Coach was playing high level chess. In your video, I heard you say how Plant's Philly shell was real and tight. Yeah, because you know how we're used to the Philly shell in fight night? It kind of sticks out, right? Kind of sticks out like this, very unrealistically. Kind of sticks out when really the Philly shell is supposed to be very tight like this. It's supposed to be your arms supposed to be right here. Everything's right here. This is elevated up a little bit so you could, kind of roll and counter, right? He has it just like that. In this game, that's his block. Like some people block like this. He blocks like this, right? One thing that I did find weird though, that they definitely had to fix, and I hope they're watching, is the Philly shell. If I switch stance, he reverses the Philly shell. No, ESBC. No one does that. If someone is a Philly shell on the right hand side, when they reverse this, or they go southpaw, they full guard. Because this is completely uncomfortable for them. They don't Philly shell on the opposite side. So that definitely has to be fixed. Do you think they have the catch and shoot of the Philly shell a la James Toney? 100%. Because here's the cool thing. Here's the freaking cool thing about the Philly shell. Remember that you can block and throw, right? Remember that? You could do it with the Philly shell. So one thing I would do, I remember I did it with Showbiz the Adult, is I would roll and still have this guarding my body and shoot the straight right. So my guard is still locked in, but I'm shooting the straight right. It was like Mayweather's straight right counter to Oscar De La Hoya when he rolled it and hit him, rolled and hit him. I was doing that with Caleb Plant. I was actually doing that with Caleb Plant. So the punching while blocking still works when doing the Philly shell. So it makes it so you can stay in the shell and still shoot your straight right, which is just beautiful. Good mention, Fanatico, about the switch. Yeah, he literally, like, if you're like this, you switch stance, and he goes like this. It's like, nah. When I did that, I'm like, I switched stance just to see if he goes full guard. He did this, I was like, Steel City Interactive. You can't just mirror it. Like, that's not how it works. Do you think you'll go to play again before release? I hope that I do. I hope that I do. But I don't want to be unfair about it either. So I don't want it to just be like us 6 again and that's it. Like, I hope, you know, other people get added to it. But I definitely hope that I do. Is it true you can headbutt by pressing a button? Yep. I don't like it. And if you use the body modifier, you do a low blow. I don't like it, but it's there. I mean, you could take a knee too. That's fire. But I didn't like how the animation looks. And when you took the knee, you couldn't get up. You had to wait for Kenny Bayless to come and get you up. So it's kind of cool. How does the game compare to Boxers Row 2 and 3D boxing? 3D boxing has a lot of mechanics to it, but I would honestly say this is still the best boxing mechanics because there are so many different pieces to it. It's not, and 3D boxing is like this too. It's not really that these two boxers are magnetized to each other. They're not magnetized to each other at all. They're just two things in the ring. I think Showbiz kind of said it the best. It's just two people in the ring with a certain skill set or a certain punch setup and block setup and another person, and then they just happen to be in the same ring at the same time. There's no magnetization that you would see like in Fight Night. Fight Night, you are tethered to the other person, so certain things can happen. So counters can happen, and so punches can land no matter what. As long as you're in range, is always gonna land. You know, like those little things. In 3D boxing, like that, not like that. But in this, it has first the visuals to go with it, but it's also just it got the loose footwork. You know, and the loose footwork is very useful if you know how to like use it to its fullest extent. I still remember when. The moment where everyone was like, "Oh my God!" Like the footwork, the loose footwork is actually a beauty to behold. Was the fight between me and King Juice, and I think King Juice was using Rocky Marciano, and I was using Joe Louis. And after that fight, King Juice ain't never want to use Rocky Marciano again. I guess he felt too tight or something. But the way I was just floating in, popping him. Switching to like quickly, like switching to textbook, back, switching back and just escaping, and then just moving and coming in different angles. And the thing that's cool is with the loose footwork, it masks everything because you're moving so erratically and so unpredictably. I don't know if that's a word, but you're moving like that. And if you go like this and then like let's say you're moving this way and then like this and then you go like this, he stops on a dime and moves that way. If you go like this, he'll stop on a dime and move that way. So you could like stop on a dime, stop on a dime, stop on a dime, and you're just like whoop, 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 and then just escape. Like it's so confusing. And then changes the tempo. Now you're moving super fast as compared to when you were just, you know, regular. Now you're moving super fast. So it's like if a person starts getting your rhythm and timing and then you hit loose footwork, and I would do this a lot. I would plan when I would do my loose footwork. Hold up, we got a super chat. Gotta give that super chat love. Thank you so much, Nate. Now that you felt the controls, do you still think that ESBC could implement your range control punch extender mechanic that you made a video about? I don't think that they're gonna add that. What I did see kind of the workaround to it was that the fighters had motions that they're constantly doing. Like they're constantly doing little things. And one of the motions were, you know, put the hand out. And I remember Caleb Plant, I was playing with Caleb Plant, and he put the hand out for a good amount of time. So I think that's how they're gonna do it. It's gonna be a visual thing, but it's not gonna be something that you could actually use. And I mean, it's fine. To me, the gameplay felt so good and so much like real boxing that I was okay. I was all right with it. Like I was like, yo, I'll take this. Like, give me this fighting mechanic. Fix a few things. Like, I want to be able to slip and punch. I think King Juice mentioned that in his video, and Coach's Corner was the person who brought that up first. But yeah, that's something that that makes sense, because that's what Oscar Valdez did to Bert Chow. That's how he knocked him out cold. He slipped and punched. So they shouldn't take that away. They should definitely have that. We're at 215 viewers right now. Guys, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. There's more content coming. There's more content coming related to the creator event. Bro, thank you so much for the support. Number one, I put out a 1 hour and 20-minute vlog, and it's almost gonna hit 18,000 views. It's only been like 2 days. How I got that many views on a video that's so long is beyond me. I was so worried that you guys weren't gonna wanna watch it. I did literally everything in my power to make it as entertaining, as cinematic as possible, but also get raw footage of when we first saw things, when we first experienced things, so that you could kind of see our emotions. Because a lot of people were saying from my video that, oh, you could tell he didn't like the game. Look how he's talking. He's not talking like he's excited. It's like, guys, you have to understand. This is after I've already played it for 2 days straight, from 9 o'clock to 10 p.m., from 9 in the morning to 10 p.m., 9 in the morning to 10 p.m., came back home, days passed, wrote a script, you know, and plus when I deliver those kind of videos where I write a script, I talk in a specific professional tone, my voiceover voice, so that one, it removes all bias. Like, I don't want to have any bias or persuade you in any way. I want you to literally just watch the video as a factual, almost documentary style voiceover kind of setup. And you know, it's been so much time already. It's not like I just played the game and then I'm making a video right after playing the game. You're gonna get a little bit of excitement there, but I'm already, the excitement, the understanding of what the game was, it already sunk in. Like, I already had that understanding. So people took that video to be like, oh, he must not like it. He's not talking super excited about it. It's like, no, I more than like it. I love that game. I want to play that game right now. I'm so withdrawn. I can't play other games. This game has ruined other games for me. So yeah, trust me, I really liked it. Is there a place for pressure, swarm fighters too, in your opinion? I'm worried it'll be a Mayweather style or you're nerfing yourself. Well, people want to play a variety of fighters online. I do believe that you can be a pressure fighter. I do 100% believe that, because it's hard to tell. You don't even know really what the meta is going to be. It's just hard to tell because it was just 4 of us and then 2 people in the UK. We're only working within what we're dealing with within each other, right? So, you know, King Juice wants to try to attack and put pressure, attack the body. Showbiz trying to throw power shots, hard power shots. Coach is trying to box within, you know, range. So, like, that's the only things that I had to deal with, right? So, once the community gets it, everybody gets it, it's going to be a different ballgame. It's going to be a different ballgame. Guys, hit the like button. We're at 71 likes right now. We have 212 people watching. If I could get this up to 100 likes right now, I'm gonna show y'all the Muhammad Ali card. I'm gonna show y'all the Muhammad Ali card that I won in the tournament. Let's get this to 100 likes. Get it to 100 likes. I'm gonna show y'all the Muhammad Ali card right now. Plus, hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit that subscribe button because more content is coming. Also, before I move on to anything else, I want to thank you guys for the video. The video that I put on the gameplay specifically was unbelievable, because in that video, the video's only been out for like 4 days and it is already about to hit 80,000 views, and it may more than likely be the first video, which is crazy. Just to think about this, we're only 4 days in and it might be the first ESBC video I've ever made to hit 100,000 views. I think the closest is 97,000, which was the Roy Jones video. But this video, only 4 days in, we're already at 80,000. It might actually hit the 100,000. And I've been doing ESBC content for 2 years. Okay, so we hit 100. All right, we hit 100. So I gotta do what was promised. I gotta do what was promised. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and grab. Ooh, I already opened the box. Got it right here. Oh my God. Oh my God, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Hold up. Let me make sure y'all get the, come on camera. Come on camera, there we go. The Muhammad Ali card, signed by Muhammad Ali before he passed away. 1 of 6 in the entire world This is a huge, super card right here. Look at the back. Look at the back. You have received an autograph insert card from Leaf Trading Cards. This card bears the authentic autograph of Muhammad Ali. Leaf guarantees that the signature on the card is authentic and was signed by Mr. Ali in the presence of Leaf representatives. Ooh! Ooh! You see this? Your boy was not playing no games. I was getting whooped day one. I was getting whooped day one, but I made the necessary adjustments. I learned the necessary mechanics, and I was a force to be reckoned with on day two. I was a force, bro. I was a force. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna pretend. You know what I'm saying? You know, people want you to pretend, like, nah, pretend that, yeah, that you weren't that good, that, you know, you like people. I like people, but I'm gonna be real. I was a beast in the day two. I just was. I think I lost one time, on day two I lost one time, literally one time, and it was to Showbiz right after I won the tournament, right? But Showbiz had hit me with those body shots. Remember, I told you I had a meta, so I did something super clever, and I never lost again. Super clever, and I never lost again. I probably should have done this in a tournament. I wouldn't even have been at the edge of my seat like that. Before I answer another question, I'm gonna tell you what I did. So the body shot was, this is how your boy think outside the box, bro. This is how your boy think outside the box when he plays. It's the reason I was ranked #1 in the world in multiple different games, because I think super outside the box. So I figured, okay, every time I face King Juice, every time I face Showbiz, I'm gonna have to be worried about that body shot, right? So this is what I did. I called it flanking the body shot. So what I would do is, I'll go in, make sure I protect the body, protect the body, boom, hit him in the body, boom, hit him in the body. Until I got their body to yellow, I wouldn't start boxing like I want to box. I just would be in range, make sure they make a miss, catch the body, hit the top sometimes, catch the body, get them on yellow before they get my body on yellow. Then I'll start boxing. If they hit my body and get it to yellow, I get their body to orange. Boom, boom. So I'm flanking. I don't want to win using this tactic, but I'm preventing them from getting me to one tap before I get them to one tap. So I'm flanking their body attack. So if I'm on yellow, they're gonna be on orange. And if I'm on orange, I'm gonna put them on one tap. I'm gonna put them on one tap. I don't know if they caught on, if they did or they didn't, but that's what I was doing. I would just make sure that their color was one level above my color, and then I'll go back to what I'm doing. If they get my color into a specific level, like if I go from yellow to orange, I'm making sure they get to red. So that's how I did it. I flanked the body attack to take the exploit away, and then I never lost a fight. And I think because I did the King Juice fight, the body attack was super I was basically in peril, but I won. And then Showbiz got me with the body attack. So then from that point forward, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna flank the body attack. I'm gonna box how I want to box, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm one step ahead in terms of that body exploit, just in case. It did feel like maybe they started catching on, because I think that at a certain point they weren't going so hard on to going to the body, so they may have caught on. I don't know if they did, but I told them too. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna flank the body attack, so I'm gonna make sure your body hurt before my body hurt. Let's see this. Hold up. If you're allowed to say, I just want to know what questions you asked Ash and what answers did you receive. It was so many questions, bro. It's hard to remember exactly all the questions we asked him. But we asked him about, slipping and punching, pushing. I didn't like the pushing mechanic. Talked about weaving. I wanted a little bit more range on the weave. I didn't like the range that we had on the weave. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of things that we talked about. The running mechanic looked bad, but he told us it was a placeholder. We talked about the exploit, but they said that the build they're on that had been fixed already. The whole being on red mad quick and being on one tap, that had been fixed already. So, and by the way, it was only on the side where the power hand was for your opponent. The other side and the center of your body was balanced. It was just that side. It was like something was off where that side was bad. And Conor Benn had a hurt. His body was worse than everyone else's body. So he was like glitched almost, because you could get his body red immediately. Like immediately. So, yeah, we asked him questions. We couldn't step away from gameplay, so we weren't asking questions regarding career mode or anything like that. We were just specifically asking him gameplay questions only. That's it. Do you think Fight Night Champion EA players transition over good? No. I'm gonna say no. Mad hard, JMMA. Absolutely not, because I suffered day one because of this. And I saw Darkseid's video where he was breaking down my video, and I respect his thought process, because I get the thought process of what he's saying. Because he's talking about, well, if you don't use certain moves and stuff, then you should be good. But if I play Fight Night, I don't have to do the sidestep uppercut. I do it because I'm trying to get the most advantage, possible when playing a game that's broken anyways, and trying to make sure that I'm always one step ahead off of the game, because you can't really box when there's things in the game that is overpowering. You kind of try to do it before another person does it to you, right? But like, I've played Fight Night and just boxed without doing sidestep. I played with you, Jay, and I didn't do a sidestep anything. Like, I didn't sidestep at all. So it's not that I couldn't not sidestep or do things that were within the meta. It's just the trippiness of the buttons being almost completely similar to Fight Night, and then certain things that happen in Fight Night that just cannot happen in ESBC. And it's a thing that plays with your mind. It's almost like it's a trippy feeling. So one example is the way you could step in and out in Fight Night. You could really get a long distance and long range when you step out. But here is realistic. You push off, you're gonna get a realistic step out. You're not gonna fly halfway across the ring, and you're not gonna fly halfway across the ring to your opponent. Also, when you block, you just block. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just whoop and you catch everything. So it's like boom. And if you play at a high level, if you play the game at a high level, right? High level players. And I've played Fight Night Champion at a high level. I've done tournaments. I was the only ranked level 10 in the entire world in Virgin Gaming, which was the #1 leading competition site at the time that was sponsored by Fight Night and everything. I was the only one. I had to beat a guy named Rough Tactics. If you guys know these people from the past, Rough Tactics, Terminal was 500-0. I beat him. That put me rank 9, and then I fought Rough Tactics for the rank 10. And I was the only rank 10 in the entire world. This is when it first came out. Malky Pablo wasn't even like known at that time, right? But I stopped playing Fight Night for years, so obviously metas have grown over the years, and now I can't really keep up. I could use some muscle memory to keep me in there and fight most of the people, but like people like Malky Pablo and stuff, I can't really keep up with how deep they're in the meta, right? But when you build, when you play at a high level, you have muscle memory. Like, you're not thinking about the mechanics. The back of your brain got the mechanics down packed. The back of your brain is working on the mechanics. What you're doing is working on strategy, on the fly, live strategy. So you're looking at your opponent and you're like, oh, this guy likes to step back, so I'm gonna have to step in, kind of make him think I'm gonna attack, not attack, then step in and attack. So like, you're just thinking strategy, and your muscle memory is doing everything else. You're not thinking about the combos and stuff. Your muscle memory is doing the combos that you need to do for every given situation, right? And because of that, when I'm playing ESBC and it's so similar, little things like, oh, block, I got exposed. Bam, body shot, body shot, body shot, body shot, body shot. I was getting exposed while I was blocking because I wasn't bringing my guard down. I was just blocking the head, wasn't bringing my guard down. And unlike Fight Night round 3, where if you block, you still have to press up, which kind of cues me in that it's different from Fight Night. So I have to press up to block up. I know up and down and then, because it's in my head, I'm pressing this and up. But with this game, you press this and you block your head automatically. So that gives you like a feeling of fight night. So you're doing that every time somebody comes in and you see that they're about to attack, you just hit that block button, but guess what? Your body's open. So there's so many different things, the speed of the punches, all of these different things, so many different things that causes you to just not be able to like break out of that. So the whole first day I spent just breaking my brain to try to stop thinking about my quick reactions of like the fight night button presses. Once I was able to like snap, like throw it away, put this new piece in, then it was a wrap. Then it was like I was unbeatable. Rax couldn't beat me. Coach couldn't beat me. King Juice couldn't beat me. And kudos to those guys because they Showbiz Adult, they're good at the game. But I just elevated to a certain point that I understood all the mechanics and I was able to not have those reactions, those fight night reactions. So people playing fight night right now, and I 100% agree with study. If you playing fight night to learn to get ready for ESBC, you're gonna mess yourself up. I'm not playing fight night anymore. Like I don't even want to bring back anything. I don't even want to play fight night no more. I don't want to play it. I just want ESBC. That's it. Fight night players cannot box. It's over for y'all ESBC. The crazy thing is, people could box in fight night, right? But if you're the best player in the world, you are not boxing. You're not boxing because you can't. The meta will not allow for you to do it. I don't care what anybody says. Like, there's always people that say, "Oh, I'm mad good at fight night and I play sim." Then you're not mad good, because that's like me saying, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like if you're driving a car and your car could go 150 miles per hour in a straightaway, it's like saying, "Oh, I'm the fastest driver, but I drive my car at 50 miles per hour." It's like, but I could drive that car at 150 miles per hour. So how are you the fastest driver? Like we was in a straightaway, you gonna go 50 miles per hour because that's a realistic speed? I'm going 150. Like if the game has a meta that's baked in, there's no way you're the best player in the world without that meta. There's just no way. It doesn't matter how much you try to convince yourself you're playing sim, you're not playing sim. If you're the best in the world, you're not playing sim. It's cool and I respect it. Like I'll play the best players in the world and I'm still in awe that they can do the meta that good and play fight night good. Not that they're boxing or anything like that. They're playing fight night that good. I actually respect that. I know a lot of people hate that. I don't, because you play the game the way the game is played. So if you're good at the meta, then you deserve to be rewarded for being as good as you are in that game. You know what I'm saying? It's like if somebody's the best in Super Smash Brothers, ain't nobody could fight like Super Smash Brothers. Ain't nobody could just be doing all this Dragon Ball Z stuff. So of course it's not realistic, but the person understands how to play that game and be the best in the world in that game. Because if it was just the sidestep uppercut, like no matter what you're gonna win, then I will be undefeated, or everybody else who ever does it will be undefeated. There's a person or there's people that could do it better. There's people that could do it to the meta, to the T, and that takes a lot of skill. That actually takes a lot of skills. People say, "Oh, that don't take skill." That takes skills, because if it didn't take skills, everybody will be the best player. But it isn't like that. There are people that are better than other people because they've mastered it. Now, does it look good to watch? No. Is it fun? No. Is it replicating the sport? Absolutely not. Not even close. But is it hard to do and to learn and take years and you have to get the time in and reading and all that? Yes. So I respect it. All I'm telling you is that thing will never transfer over to ESBC because you just can't do it. Even if I was to step, you have to wait for the whole stepping animation to finish before you start punching. So it's not even viable to you. Like if you do that, the uppercuts don't even land that good in ESBC when you actually in front of the person because of the physics detached system. So you're so detached from the other fighter, a slight movement will make your punch miss. Like you have to, excuse me, you have to be exactly in the correct range to do it. There's, and I heard a lot of people, like, you know, studying them, and I think Concept Reese, they said they couldn't land the uppercut, and I get it because you got to be in like this perfect range. I got to the point where whenever I wanted to land my uppercut, for the most part, I landed it because I knew exactly where I needed to be and exactly how my opponent's positioning in terms of their upper body and where they're standing, where I could finally land it. I actually won off of a combo. I won the tournament off of a bam, 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 boom combo, right? So it's the 1, 2, 3, I think 6, right? 1, 2, 6, yeah, 6. So I won off of that. That was the last combo I threw, and it dropped King Juice, and he couldn't get up off of that one. Sub into your channel, good content. Thank you, David Dons, man. We have 260 people in here, guys. That just remind me, if you haven't subbed, please hit that subscribe button, man. More content coming regarding the creator event. More content coming regarding the creator event. Hit that subscribe button, please, guys, please. We already got 136 likes. Hit the like button too. If you've already subscribed but you haven't hit the like, hit the like. If you already hit the like but you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We growing, man. We growing. We're gonna make sure that ESBC has a community, a big community, not just a little like tight-knit community. I wanted to make sure we have a big community so ESBC gets put on the map, like people know about this game. Ed, I heard your distance controlling was great. Yeah. I got to a point where I was being very deceptive with my distance control. Very, very, very deceptive. Like, they didn't even know if I was in range or not because I would hide it. I told you, I did the magician thing. Like, I'm putting this in this hand and I'm doing this, but it's really still in this hand. Like, I'm literally punching while slightly moving away. And I make sure that I move away just enough so that my last punch connects, and then right after that punch connects, I'm completely out of range. So the other person would punch, and it literally even gave King Juice the perception that somehow Kell Brook felt bigger, because that's what he said in his video. And Kell Brook, I promise you, did not have a longer reach, was not bigger. But it felt like that because once I finished my combination and he started throwing his combination, I was already out of range. But you couldn't tell that I moved out of range because I was in the middle of a combination while I was moving. So the whole thing was just mind games. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. Look at King Juice. Brack brought it up. Yeah, man. Brack's, yeah, it was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. And I remember, Ken, we was actually, there was a point where we didn't know if you could subtly move. We didn't know. I think it was after the first day, but also I agree with you in that video where you were like, the recent video where you're like, oh, within an hour of playing, now we got to start answering questions. It's like, damn, we don't even know how to do anything yet. I remember in that point, that's when coach was like, yo, we can't really move like micro movements. And it's like, no, you could, but it's like amidst all that chaos, you have to literally kind of move that analog super slight so you can get that slight movement. And then coach went on and started mastering that thing. But it was one of those things, man, that it's just beautiful because the tool sets that this game gives you it almost feels endless. Like even with the loose footwork, you can go into loose footwork and out of it whenever you want. So you can mask everything. The game lets you mask and hide and deceive so easily. I could be hitting you with combos, right? While in textbook, and mid combo, I'm like bang, 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 boop, bang, 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 right? So I'm like 1, 2, 1, 2, boom. And now I'm in loose footwork, but you don't know that. You can't tell because I'm punching you, and I clicked it mid punches. And then when you think, oh, now it's my turn. Now I got my bike on already. I'm moving, whoop, whoop, whoop. And you're like, yo, when the heck did this dude do loose move? Because is so deceptive. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game, man. Beautiful game. He said it might be due to the stance, but he's going to look at it, and it felt like that no matter who picked that dude up. In terms of who, Kell Brook? Because I 100%, I guarantee you, bro, nobody played with Kell Brook. I was the only one that played with him. It just felt like, even for Rax, he probably just felt that it felt like that watching me play with him. But I'm telling you, I was slightly moving away with the analog stick. It wasn't that he felt longer than Crawford, like you're saying here, is that most people pick Crawford when I pick Kell Brook. So it didn't matter who you picked. If you picked whoever it was, I was going to do the same thing. I was simply moving the analog stick slightly away. That's the same thing. For example, remember when y'all was like, oh, damn, you've been winning, but you just been winning with Kell Brook. And then I was like, all right, cool. I picked Tyson Fury. I did the same thing. I picked Joe Louis. I did the same thing. I was doing the same thing regardless of who I was picking. So it wasn't that Kell Brook had that. It probably just felt like that from watching it because it was so deceptive. The move that I did was so deceptive. I didn't even talk about it until right now. Because I wanted that to be one of my aces in the hole. How did Joe Louis fight? Joe Louis was amazing. I love Joe Louis. That's when I first did the whole footwork, whole mechanic thing for the first time ever. It was when I was using Joe Louis, and that's when everybody saw it. Like, oh my! That's when everybody realized that loose footwork is a beauty to behold. Like when it's controlled correctly, because they were doing it, and it was kind of like they couldn't really tame it. So because they couldn't tame it, it was like, oh man, I'm not using this. But I was dead set on taming that loose footwork, and that's what I did. And I think the showcase of when I finally kind of got it was when I fought King Juice with Joe Louis. That's when everybody was like, oh, this is what loose footwork does. Gotcha. We need Fanatico to compete in official esports tournaments for ESBC. I'm planning on it. I'm planning on doing that. Of course, man. This is going to be the game that I focus on more than anything. So I'm definitely planning on doing it. Did you utilize the punching from blocking mechanic? If so, was it useful for effective? Was it implemented correctly? You could ask anybody in here or that went. Nobody, and it's gonna sound like I'm gloating, but it's just being me being real. Nobody used the punching from blocking mechanic as effectively and as accurately as me. I used that thing so freaking good that it was a frustration for a lot of the people that I was playing. So, because one thing that people would get comfortable with was once the range or once the distance was covered, they could attack. But I would come in with a guard, and it's like, oh my god, this dude coming in with a guard. Like, what do I do now? It's like, yeah. And then if you open up even a little bit, whoop, I would throw it straight right, boom, straight down the pipe, boom. And you couldn't, it wouldn't land. Like if you did it, like a lot of people didn't do it because if you were off even by a little bit, your punch could go right over their head, or you could just miss. You had to be in the right position, in the exact position. And that's not easy to do because of the fluidity of the fight. It's not like I could be right here and then my opponent's gonna be like, okay, now, and I'm right here, so now go ahead and throw the punch. No, because the person's also moving constantly. So what I would do is I would be in my guard, and whenever I saw that we were in that sweet spot, that's when I would shoot it. Like when he's about to enter that sweet spot, that's when I would shoot it. So I'll be like this, and then I see he's about to enter the sweet spot, boom, I shot it. He's coming back, he's stepping back, he's stepping in, boom, into the sweet spot, I shot it. He's stepping away, boom, into the sweet spot, I shot it. So whenever I was stepping into the sweet spot, I would shoot it. When they would move themselves into the sweet spot, I would shoot it. And it didn't always land, but I increased the percentage of me landing it. I increased the percentage of me landing it. Okay, Fanatico, do you think UFC players would struggle because of their basic striking and blocking system? I can't say for sure because I don't know exactly how UFC works. And that's the honest truth. I just don't know how that game works. So could you use it? Like, could you? I don't know. It looks, when I watch it, it looks very simple compared to ESBC's super deep mechanic. It looks simple. It just looks simple. But like, I don't know. I can't sit here and truthfully say, oh yeah, they're gonna suffer. They might. All I know is that ESBC is super deep and it has so many different punch variations. So if I'm stepping back, I could do a step back punch that doesn't land unless a person is super aggressive coming at you. So there's so many, like, it's the detachment of the fighters. The fact that they're not tethered, it makes it so, like, you really have to be smart. You really have to know when to throw your punches, where you can land them. Because you could easily throw a combination inside the range and miss all your punches because you're off. You're not in the right spot to get it. The fluidity of the fight is getting you miss these shots. Feint worked. The way the feint worked is you would shoot it, or actually the jab was the worst thing to feint because it was so fast. I think, I never tried it, but I think if you did the power modifier, shot the jab, or is this the power modifier? This one. Shot the jab, and because he loads it up a little bit, you could probably cancel it. But basically you would just throw, the hooks were the easiest ones to cancel. I would throw a hook, I would throw it and then just press this. So I'll do this, something like this, and it would just cancel it. So I'll go like this and then come with a hook like this on top, or go like this and come with a hook to the body. So this would hook to the body, cancel this out, hook to the body like this. Cancel this out, hook to the body on the other side. So I would get them to go up and then go to the body on the other side. So it's like whoop, whoop, since the rhythm is still there and I could get this out quicker than going like this and then resetting this, I'll just go whoop, boom. But you also, feinting, like people say, oh, feinting doesn't work, right? But I think that feinting doesn't work. It all depends on who you're fighting. If you're fighting someone that's not going to react to your punches in any specific way, then you're just not gonna feint. Because for what? Why would I feint against somebody who's not reacting to my punches? One person who reacted a lot to punches was Rax. He reacted like crazy. And the other guys reacted too, but not as much as Rax. So with Rax, I felt more comfortable feinting with him because I knew that he was going to react to a lot of those attacks. So I would literally just be like, feint, and he would do the pull counter thing that he does, and then I would punish him to the body. While feint, and then just feinting, and then come in close, and then when he comes back, hit him with a straight, or hit him to the body, or kind of step in and then spin around and jab him, right? So I did the feints to kind of plant a seed in his mind so that he feels insecure about the pull counter. I just wanted him to be insecure about it. It's not so much about the specific moment of capturing or of catching him, so much so as it was the marathon of the fight, and I just wanted him to feel insecure. So I will always do that. I will feint with him like crazy, constantly feinting, and he would just pull sometimes early, and I'll just tag him to the body. Because one thing with the pull is, well, the way that it is in this game, you can't block the body when you pull back. You can't block the body. So it's like, if you pull, if you pulled early, I knew I had a body attack right there. How effective were their body shots? They were super effective, so much so that they were broken. It was actually broken. So, but they said that was fixed in the build that they were currently on. But yes, it was very effective, and it's sad too because it took away from people who wanted to be body punchers. because it almost tainted what they were doing, right? Like if you wanted to be a body puncher, it was almost perceived to people, right? Like you're going for the exploit. But it's like, nah, I'm not going for the exploit. I just want to attack the body. I just want to be a body snatcher. Like, but now I got to look like I'm exploiting the game. You know what I mean? So it sucks. It sucks because they just really wanted to attack the body and they didn't really want to exploit. Like, I don't think any of them wanted to do the exploit. It just happened to be that was an exploit. Oh, we got a $10 perfect jab. Thank you so much. My goodness. Thank you so much, man. Perfect Jab said, been watching you since your first vid about ESBC. Extremely happy to see your growth. Thank you, brother. Nevertheless, I have a question. If the bugs you encounter were fixed, what would you rate the gameplay? If the bugs I encountered was fixed, the game would be, from what we played, 9 out of 10. Because obviously there were certain things they still needed to fix gameplay-wise, like slipping in punches, the pop of the punches, the counters didn't really feel so super fleshed out, but 9 out of 10 easily. Simply off of the base of that game being so vast and deep where you could do basically anything you want. It was freedom personified in a video game. And that's what you want when you boxing, man. Like when I was doing the Philly shell and I was just rolling and I had show business punches going off for the shoulder and like I would block down, block up, roll, twist, turn. Like it feels, I would get on the ropes and do it. Like it just felt so good. It felt so good. So yeah, 9 out of 10. They cleaned up a few things, which that's the good thing about us playing it that early. People hated that we played it early, but that don't make no sense for us to play it in terms of feedback. For marketing, I get it, but for feedback, if we played a game that's almost about to come out, there's not much that they can do because putting or changing little things breaks the game. It takes a long time to fix it. So asking us about the feedback now, it's gonna ensure that we get a better game when it's all said and done because they can actually implement the things that we said to them. Alcalon with a super chat, $5. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Let's say I don't watch or know boxing. Is there a way to know what boxer I would be good at? Like a recommendation system instead of just trial, etc. I mean, I could end up doing something like that, like breaking down. Just remember they have like 200 something fighters. I could try to break down, maybe the top 10 people in this type of style, the top 10 people in this type of style. Even if you don't do boxing, you'll be good at the game as long as you work at the game. It's like saying I was the #1 speed runner in Mirror's Edge, right? For the first year that the game came out. The first one, Mirror's Edge. I was #1 in the world. I held 6 out of the 8 speed runs, right? I never did parkour, but I learned the game. And I think that if you know boxing, you'll have a leg up at first, but your dedication to learning the game is probably gonna be the thing that determines how good you are at the game, regardless if you know what the sport or not. I think your dedication to learning the game is what's gonna matter at the end. You'll just have a leg up. Like if the boxer knows how to box and plays the game and does good in the game, but also dedicates himself to the game, then that's he could be a problem. But somebody who dedicates themselves to the game, I think there'll be a problem too. Don't get caught up too much into that thing. A boxer could get a leg up, but video games, there's a specific nature to it. Once you learn the mechanics, once you learn the things, you could be good at a game. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to do a list of like, here's the best type of power fighters or aggressive fighters, and here's the best type of defensive fighters. Did you guys there try to button mash? You can't button mash in this game. You can't button mash in this game. You can't. You cannot. If you button mash in this game, you will be punished 100% because every little thing you can miss. You can miss. Like, if you hit a 4-punch combo, it felt super rewarding from how easy it is to miss your punches. It felt super rewarding, right? So if you just out there button mashing, you finished. Because I could just step back, boom, slip, boom. Like you will be punished 100%. 100%. Oh, we got Study in here. Hey man, just got back from the vet for my dogs, obviously, not me. Well, good to know. How you been? I see you in that merch. Yeah, man, we gotta wear the merch for the live. You know what I'm saying? We gotta wear the merch for the live. Thank you for coming in here, Study. Thank you. I can't wait to play Study, by the way, because Study was out there on a tear. My man was out there on a tear. So now, since I got to the point where, like, I was basically winning every single fight, I definitely want to test what it would be like to play Study. Like, what was his thing that made him, you know, so dominant over there. I definitely would want to play him and see. And he said he likes Crawford, so it's perfect, even with this build, because I like Kell Brook. So it could be Kell Brook versus Crawford and see what happens. I watched your video. Oh, by the way, Study, did you notice that Crawford's reach was shorter than everybody else? Did you notice that if that was the case, or did you still feel like you had good reach with Crawford? Because from like what King Juice was saying was that he felt that Kell Brook had a longer reach than Crawford, and he couldn't get on the inside on him. The Boxing Theorist, Super Chat. I watched your video. I noticed you like the fact that when your fighter's stamina is low, it doesn't slow down your punches. Why is that? Because that's how it is in real life. That's how it is in real life. Your punches don't really slow down. You just pick the points where you burst your punches out. When you actually boxing, like it might maybe slow down a tad bit if you're going ham, but most professional boxers, they're tired, but they know when to throw, and they'll use a burst of energy to throw. And their punches, what ends up happening is that they are vulnerable because they're doing that burst while being tired. Their sting of the punches, they're reduced. But in terms of like how Fight Night just slows your punches down, that's not how it happens. That's not how it happens. Me and you gonna have some wars. I can see it. Yeah, man, I can't, bro. I'm dying to play against you, bro. I'm dying to play, bro. I'm not lying, bro. With Crawford, I felt like the range was average, but the ability to step in, jab straight, and move away faster, utilize his speed. Okay, cool. I just wanted to get a different perspective. Did you play a lot of people who were using Kell Brook, or were people just not really using Kell Brook like that when you were playing? Just because I'm just trying to understand, because the way King Juice was saying that even Rax was saying that could be a thing. I don't know if it's because they couldn't tell what I was doing, or is it like that's what they really think is going on. So I'm just trying to figure out. Anime All Day TV. Can you describe fighting styles? The creators. Oh yeah, for sure. King Juice was a person. Actually, Coach's Corner's video was perfect. King Juice was a person that was cutting off the ring very, very well, which is what made the last fight in the tournament super scary, was because he was cutting off the ring very, very well. But King Juice was a person who cut off the ring. He had an aggressive nature. So he was coming forward and putting pressure on you. Showbiz the adult, he was a person that would time his power shots really good. You get caught and it's like, oh my God, how did I let him catch me with that? So he was good at the power shots. Mine was like footwork, loose footwork, but also even being inside, like I was mastering that, but that was day 2. Coach's Corner from day 1 was working on mastering the inside game. So Coach's Corner more on the inside game. Mine was loose footwork, because I don't think anybody did loose footwork the way I was doing. I think I was the only one doing it the way I did it. And with some inside game. And yeah, that's basically how the difference is between all of us. Can you describe the character select menu? Were they the render model version of themselves or real life versions of themselves? Character? No, it was the rendered version of themselves, and it looked beautiful. They're just standing there. I had Crawford mirror matches, then fought Brook once versus Ash, and Ash loves to fight to outside fight, so I had to counter that. Then I had to counter an aggressive bend. Okay, so that sounded like they were using it That sounded like he was using it on the outside. Was he Ash fought with Kell Brook and he was fighting on the outside. So did it feel when you were fighting Kell Brook that he had a longer reach, or was it just that he would hit you and then start moving and going on his back foot? Like, how did it feel? Rax was using Kell and said it. What fight was that, King? What fight was Rax using Kell? I don't remember him ever using it. Who did he fight against? Because I don't remember him ever using it. Kevin Leroy, loving the content, but please don't duck me on ESBC. Showbiz already said he don't want any smoke. Kevin Leroy, bro, I'm not gonna duck nobody, bro. I'm not gonna duck nobody because I'm trying to be the best, man. I'm trying to be the best, and the only way you can be the best is if you fight everybody. Y'all were gone when we went back to play more. Oh, okay. And he was using it against you, and you were using Crawford, and he said he felt like he had a longer reach on you. Can you do the pull counter Floyd did to Marquez? You could do it. It don't look exactly like that because you can't just punch off of the pull. So you would have to pull back, and then when you come back into position, you hit them. But you're doing that motion happens so fast that you could get it before they can really get back into a good position after they threw their punch, especially if they threw a power shot. They will be out of position for a really long time, so you can just come in, boom, and hit them. Yeah, for sure. When we would meet in the middle with our jabs, mine never landed, or at least felt like Brook had a reach advantage despite being slower. Okay. So then I guess he had there probably was a reach thing with Kell Brook. Oh, that's actually really interesting. That's really interesting. Yep, and said it maybe because of Crawford's stance. Oh, okay, probably because Crawford had more I remember his stance being a little bit more kind of open, and Kell Brooks being a little bit more to the side, so his arm was probably extended more. Makes sense. It makes sense. All right, hold on. Project Jab, my last question. If I had to guess, what percentage of the bugs you experienced was Ash and the devs already aware of? Most of them. The bugs were there purposely. Not purposely, but they didn't care to work on those bugs because they were just focusing on the gameplay, and then the cleaning up process will happen when everything on the gameplay, the foundation is there already. So they weren't focused too much on those bugs because they weren't like you definitely can't sell. Oh, my fault. Hold up. I know y'all can still hear me though. Damn, overheated. I hate when that happens. Yeah, y'all can hear me though. Y'all can hear me. The camera come back on. The bugs, those kind of things, you could just fix them. There's no issue with that. You could just you could clean them up. But what they worried more about than anything was that the foundation was there. They worried more about the foundation over everything else. Let's try to turn this on, see if we get something. All right, here we got something. All right, super chat by Klepto PSX. Will we be able to customize a licensed fighter? I think we will, but I don't know. They didn't talk about that. Study, yeah, Juice, but was rapid in comparison to the rest of the welters, but what's great is he wasn't OP. You could for sure counter him. Oh yeah, definitely. Steel City Interactive be watching. Yeah, for sure, 100%. They 100% be watching. Yo, man, you study martial mind. Y'all got to do some training camps, 100%. Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing all those type of things. We definitely gonna do them. Crypto King, Box Fanatico, were the speed of the punches quick? They were pretty quick. They were pretty nice and fast. I would want them to have more pop, but yeah, they were pretty nice and fast when you threw them. I had to get used to that delay though. I know Study said that it wasn't, he didn't experience that, but definitely on our side, we all experienced it on our side. So I don't know if it was a refresh rate situation with us using the projector. That's a possibility. I think I talked to one of the devs and they said that it could have been the refresh rate that we were using. But study definitely said he didn't experience any of that stuff. So that is a possibility. That is a possibility. Do you think the game could be used to increase your boxing IQ in real life? I think so. Yeah, for sure. Because the game is so, like, if you're not thinking in there, you're gonna get destroyed. You can't just go in there and throw punches. You're literally gonna get destroyed. So it makes you think about things. It makes you like really think about what you're gonna do next. So we got some super chats coming in. Al Kalong, thank you for the super chat. Have you guys talked about doing a live together to discuss the game? We really look forward to it. Oh yes, I talked to Showbiz. Showbiz says he wants to get all of us together. I think that would be awesome, so we could talk about what we experienced. I think we need to all sit down and have a video and talk about what we experienced, for sure, 100%. The Boxing Theorist, how authentic was the Philly Shell defense? Very, very authentic. It was beautiful to look at. I still wish that there was more range and movement with the weave, but the fact that you would have to rotate, pull back, and just based off of the way the punches are coming so that you could get it to hit your shoulder, because you're not as protected, you're not as protected as the full guard. And because it's physics based, even with the full guard, people could still hit you. Even if you had the full guard, I would, like, dudes would do the full guard. I would get into a certain spot and I would punch right around their guard. Bang, 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 with a combo. Bang, 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 and it would all land right around their guard. And then, like, throw an uppercut, it'll get inside. So even with this, you still got to kind of move a little bit to kind of get, like, the person to miss, right? With the Philly Shell, your face is really exposed. So unless you're rotating and, like, turning to catch these punches to make sure you catch them, you're going to get tagged. So yeah, it really feels like a true Philly Shell experience where you have to use your upper body. And because you could block and punch, there was nothing more beautiful than turning, rolling, catching it on the shoulder, and shooting a straight right, just like how Floyd Mayweather did to Oscar De La Hoya. ESBC is supposed to have 60 plus punch types. Did you see that variety? Yes, because it's all based on your movement. So if I'm stepping back and throwing a straight right, you're throwing a different straight right with its own animation that does something completely different. If you're stepping to the left, you're doing a check hook. If you're stepping in, you're doing something different. If you're stepping to the side, you're doing something different. So it's all based on your movement plus the modifier also on top of it. So yeah, you get the 60 punch variation. And also, like, yeah, you get the 60 punch variation because you also get it with the uppercuts and everything. It's crazy. The step in, that's also another one. I can't wait to challenge you, Fanatico. Man, I can't wait for y'all to challenge me too, man. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fight everybody, bro. I can't wait. I'm gonna be doing live streams where we just playing the chat. We're just literally playing the chat. We use Xbox One controllers. Yeah, we used PS5 at first, and then it got switched out to Xbox One. If the beta game has Shakur Stevenson available, would you have cried? Yes. That is an unequivocal, like, automatic yes. I would have been like, oh my God. If he was a surprise guy, but I already knew he wasn't going to be the surprise guy because we went into a Zoom call maybe a day or two before we left, and Rax told us there ain't going to be no Shakur Stevenson. I was like, damn. All right. But there'll be a surprise person. So we're like, okay, cool. And the surprise person ended up being Terrence Crawford, which is super cool. But I still ended up feeling much better with Kell Brook. I keep getting asked about pace of the game. And I keep having to explain that it's literally up to you to control the pace of the fight, not the game. Exactly. Because you are not tethered to your fighter. You're not tethered. You're untethered. Showbiz literally said it the best. This is a person and this is a person. Let's put them inside of a ring and then let them do whatever they want to do. That's exactly how it feels. That's why punches sometimes don't land and things don't happen, because you gotta be in the right spot. You gotta time everything. It's very, very disconnected. You have to really work at what you're doing. So yeah, you control the pace automatically. Another super chat by the Boxing Theorist, $5 super chat. Did they have different commentators other than Todd? They didn't have. Commentary was turned off. Commentary was turned off during the our event, so we didn't have it. Was you able to shadow box? I guess you could shadow box. There were a lot of times that I would play the game and I would like play with no one else playing, and I would just test the mechanics of the punches and test the punch flow and stuff. So I guess I was shadow boxing, but you're shadow boxing like you're trying to throw punches in a fight. So it's not like exactly how shadow boxing would look, but I did that a lot. I would play against, because we didn't have the opportunity to play against the CPU, so I would just play with another controller, but like the person nobody controlling it, and then I'm doing things with the fighter. Fanatico, what system will your primary be playing on when ESBC drops? I'm going to be playing primarily on the PC and PlayStation 5. Those are going to be the two that I play with, and I'm gonna be using this bad boy. Let's see if I can get this to. There we go. I'm gonna be using this bad boy right here. This bad boy right here. ESBC. When when that game drops. Let's see. I think we got Jay Shep with the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. This man had me entertained while we were over there, man. I remember we were watching his video and they didn't know yet that I had won the tournament, but I had watched his video right after I won the tournament, and the fact that it was so spot on, like he was like, oh, he's gonna adjust and literally exactly that's what happened. I remember me and Chauvin looking at each other like, yo, this dude predicted this to a T, bro. Like, damn. So kudos to you. Those videos were so fire, so entertaining. Y'all should give Jay Shep some love, 100%, guys. Go over to his channel, watch those videos. They'll have you rolling, man. I was laughing the whole time. Okay, the Boxing Theorist, super chat, $5. Last one. What's your opinion on Sean Porter's statement about the game being 80% done? If you spoke on it earlier, sorry, I came in late. Somebody did mention that. We did talk about it. It's hard for me to say, like, I don't know exactly where the game is. I don't think, this is one thing that I would say, I don't think that the build that they were on was so far removed from the build that we're on. Because I don't think that would make sense for them to be so far ahead, you know, that they're almost 80%. So it's like our feedback would do very little. So I don't think that they're 80%, to be very honest. And I don't know if maybe Sean Porter kind of misconstrued what was being told to him. But that's just my opinion. I can't say for sure exactly what conversation Sean Porter had. But in my opinion, I don't think they can be so far ahead. Fanatical, first of all, congrats on winning the Ali card. And will it be cross-platform? I'm hoping. But we don't know, bro. We don't know. I'm hoping that it's going to be, though. But we just don't know. Unfortunately, we just don't know. Fanatical, do you have a wish list of boxers you want in the game most? Really, Shakur was the number one guy I wanted, and I have him. So I'm kind of relaxed. I'm kind of cool, chill, calm. But I definitely would love to see Floyd Mayweather in it, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence Jr., those kind of fighters. I would love to see them in the game. 100%. Would love to see them in the game. Guys, if you haven't hit subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. We went what? I think we went 2 hours already. Let me double check. We went about an hour and some change. I'm still gonna keep going. Because you know this is a special day, special moment, special live. Let's see. What would be your dream matchup? Crawford versus Stevenson or Crawford versus Canelo? Shakur Stevenson is my favorite fighter. So anything with Shakur Stevenson and being a high-level event like Crawford, I'll probably pick Crawford versus Stevenson over a Crawford versus Canelo fight. But I would love to see Crawford versus Canelo. I wouldn't want to pick between the two. But Crawford versus Stevenson, that is too far. Like, I think it's more likely that Crawford would face Canelo before Stevenson faces Crawford, just based off of how far away Stevenson is from Crawford and the things that he's doing right now. I think Stevenson's trying to become undisputed at the weight class that he's in right now, and he's about to start that process. He's already has one belt. He's about to get another one. So, who are you most excited to play as when the game drops? Shakur Stevenson. Like, it's not gonna be a secret, guys. Shakur Stevenson is my 100% my favorite fighter right now. That's the type of fighter that I enjoy. That's what I like to see. I actually enjoy that more than seeing aggressive power punchers that get knockouts. I like seeing chess matches that I can break down and do film study on. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy seeing that stuff. I know I'm in the minority when it comes to boxing and it comes to that, but that's how I even play. That's why when Todd Grisham was seeing me and Coach play, he was like, "What the heck? This is the most boring fight." But I was so entertained because my brain was just on like 100, because Coach was trying to do things to have one step ahead of me, and I was doing things to be one step ahead of him, and it was just a chess match. So Todd likes to see knockouts. And I don't think in that fight between me and Coach for the tournament, that first fight, there was no knockdowns, not one. And I won on the scorecards 120-108. So I basically won every single round. But there was not one knockdown in that fight at all. Not one. What up, Fanatico? Sully, what's going on, brother? What's going on? Far too big and beating much opponents than Crawford has beat. Don't know who y'all talking about. How's the jab to the body? Real nice. Especially, a lot of people didn't like the jab, but if you hit the punch modifier and you hit that jab, it was stiff as heck. It would actually keep people at bay. You just had to hit the power modifier. If you didn't hit the power modifier, it wasn't going to work. And the power modifier for the jab is not that bad. It's not a big load up. Like, the regular jab is like this, but the power modifier is like this. So that was the difference. You would get this or that. So I used it. I used it a lot to kind of keep people back. Like, oh, boom. And it would do that to them. Like, it would keep them at bay. Just got to know how to use the power modifier. Judging by the gameplay, Jermaine McCormick, thank you so much for the super chat, $5 super chat. Judging by the gameplay, do you think it'll be possible to recreate Lomachenko's style? Yeah, I think so. I mean, the way he did the way he cuts to the corners, I don't know if you could do it that fast. I don't think so. But with the loose footwork, you could kind of rotate around people a little bit. You just have to be in loose footwork to pull it off, like to the extent of like Lomachenko. But he can't really get that. Like, you can't super quickly get into the corners or on a T side against your opponent, or a T position where the opponent is here and you're right here looking at them. It's hard to do it just like that, because if you step, you have to let that whole animation finish before you can start punching. So it all depends on how they're gonna keep tweaking the stepping and stuff like that. But to a certain extent, you could do it. Definitely 100% could do it if you are in loose footwork. You have more of an opportunity to do it, to move fluidly in that direction, and then move fluidly back when they turn. Strong Wolf, I guess. Can you control distance with jab? Yes, especially if you use the modifier, hard punch modifier, throw the jab, boom, you threw a real strong, stiff jab. It kept them at bay. Why are people saying December release date? Bugs don't take long to fix, and Sean Porter was told by the devs it's 80%. Yeah, that's what Sean Porter said, but we don't know for sure if they're really at 80%. Also, yeah, it's not just bugs, bro. It's like there's a lot of things like we gave feedback for gameplay feedback, and when you put something new, Like they have to do mocap and then insert the mocap and then fix whatever breaks when they insert that mocap into the game. There's some things that need to be fleshed out. They could surprise us. I don't think that it's going to come out anytime earlier than at least the end of this year. That's just my prediction. Ash was affirming the bugs that Alpha has are fixed in Advanced Pro Sim mode. Yeah, no, he said a lot of the things that we were saying were fixed. A lot of the bugs, like the body exploit, that was fixed. A lot of the things we were saying was fixed, but there was things that we mentioned that should be in the game that isn't in the game, like slipping and punching, right? So there's certain things, that it's just, they need to add things to it too. It's not just cleaning things up. Fanatico, did you guys see any cuts or closed eyes? And how did the cutman in the corner work? Did they give you water, swelling iron? Okay, so all the bells and whistles, they're not in the game. So like giving water and stuff, that's not gonna, I can't imagine that the build that we would even have had that in there. They're probably gonna have that in the final build, but that's when you got all the bells and whistles. They were just in the ring, kind of like look like they're talking to you a little bit, and that's it. There was supposedly no damage, but I actually was able to pull out damage at one point, like visible damage. And it was not a cut, but I think I was fighting Showbiz, and I got his eye swollen. He was using Terrence Crawford, I was using Kell Brook. His eye was super swollen. Like it was huge. And that was the only time we ever saw it. But I also had that side of his face red, completely red. So, and mind you, in the build we were playing, to get somebody's face red was like mission impossible. So it was basically mission impossible. I got his eye red, and it looked like he had his eye was shut. His right eye was shut, and it was huge. It was super swollen. Let's see. How good was Showbiz? I think I'm pretty good at Fight Night. Is Showbiz above average? Where is his skills at? I want to beat him. Showbiz was good. He was real good. His timing with the power shots, with the modifier, was really good. There'll be so many times where I'm just like, oh my God, how did I let him hit me? But it was because of his timing. His timing was too good. He would just like, he knew exactly when to throw it so that it could land. He was good. Fanatico, who you got? Shakur versus Lomachenko. Try being unbiased. Okay, I'm gonna be unbiased. Shakur Stevenson. That's even me being unbiased. It's just Shakur Stevenson has mastered probably the most important thing to master at a base level in boxing, even before you have to adjust to your opponent, which is distance. If you master distance, that is way too difficult to deal with. That is way too difficult. And I think that Shakur mastered distance. He won't even let Lomachenko angle. If Lomachenko starts to angle, he's gonna step back. Once you step back, that eliminates the angle, right? You step back and you're right there. He's just gonna step back to escape the angles. That's it. Or get himself on the ropes purposely so that he just turn a little bit and the ropes blocks Lomachenko from even angling. Right? Plus, he can't angle that well when Shakur is also left-handed. You really, when it's left-hander versus orthodox, you can angle because you have both. Your lead foot is right there touching each other. So you could just step around their lead foot and angle. But if your lead foot is here and his lead foot is here, you can't do it. And that's me being unbiased. I'm truly being unbiased. I don't think that there's anybody right now in the sport that could really beat Shakur Stevenson, even Lomachenko. Box Fanatical, do you have to change the way you play ESBC rather than Fight Night Champion and UFC 4, right? And can't just go in and spam? You have to change the way you play ESBC rather than Fight Night Champion. Well, I had to stop playing with the reflexes of Fight Night Champion. Not so much like the spammy tactics, not the spammy tactics, just the reflexes, the muscle memory of blocking, of the stepping, of how far you can step, and things of that nature. and how even the way you move with your feet. Here, everything is different. Even when you step back, you have to step off of your foot. So you push off. You push off of your front foot when you're going back. You push off of your back foot when you're going forward. And that's an entire animation that you have to deal with first before you can get to whatever position you're in. So unlike Fight Night where you just float back no matter what, like you're here and you just go like that and that's your step back. In this game, you'll see him go like that. See, like instead of going like this, he's going like this, right? And you actually can't even go that far. You go like right here, like in a realistic step. You're not stepping like that. So just certain little things that you got so used to with muscle memory, especially if you played Fight Night Champion at a high level, you got so used to it with the muscle memory that you were stepping in a specific way. Haney beats Shakur? Absolutely not. Shakur beats Haney with no problem. They actually sparred back in the days before Shakur went to the Olympics, and Shakur was giving him a boxing lesson. So, I mean, I get it, it's sparring, but Shakur probably way better than he was then, even if Devin Haney's way better than he was back then too. Shakur probably way, way better. Who do you think will give Shakur the most problems today if you had to say? If I had to say who would give him the most problems, in and around his weight class, I'd probably say Lomachenko would give him the most problems, but I still think that he would beat Lomachenko, and it won't even be that difficult for him to do it during the fight. Absolutely not. Nobody's beating Shakur. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Box Fanatico, where was there any realistic TV broadcast camera? I didn't notice. In the trailers, you could see basically all the cameras. I think they kind of show all the cameras there in the trailers. You can see all the cameras on there. And it turned out that camera 2 was the camera everybody liked. The UK guys and the US guys. How's the experience about the clinching game? Well, they explained to us that the clinching was not fully complete. So the cool thing about the clinch is that you could initiate it, and no matter at what point you could initiate it. And what would happen is, like wherever the person's at, that's how the clinch would work. So I didn't create like an animation for that person. You know, like it's hard to explain. With Fight Night Champion, for example, if you go for a clinch, it created like a moment of an animation where the person's like, and then you grab them in an exact specific way. There was probably like 2 different ways you could grab the person. If they were ducking, the animation was like this. If they weren't ducking, the animation was like this. In this game, if you're punching and then the person slips and then grabs you, your arm is over, like it's an over-under grab, like just like that. The person that I saw literally was the best at clinching was Sean Porter. He would literally go bang, 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 and clinch. Let you go, bang, 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 and clinch. It was so hilarious to see. Like he was like, oh, this is the clinch button? Okay, now I know what, I'm gonna throw some punches, I'm gonna clinch you. And he was doing it really, really well. He was fighting Sergio Mora, and they were both kind of new at the game. But yeah, he was doing that really, really well. All right, super chat by Dolby Mills. How much would you pay for Floyd and his camp? How much would I pay for Floyd and his camp to be in the game? I mean, I'll pay because I'm a content creator. So that's just like, that's a no-brainer. Like that money's gonna come back to me tenfold if I purchase it. If I was just a regular dude and didn't do content, from how much I like Floyd, I would pay for Floyd. I probably wouldn't pay for everybody in his camp. Like I wouldn't pay for Rolly. Like if I had to pay for Rolly, I wouldn't. If I could just pay for Floyd, I'll pay for Floyd. If I had to pay for King Juice, I'll pay for. I said King Juice. If I have to pay, why did I say King Juice? That's weird. If I have to pay for Gervonta Tank Davis, I'll pay for Gervonta Tank Davis. Box Fanatic, I just hope the game comes out soon, but it's never coming out. Wait, Flamin' Delta, hold up. You just said the game's never coming out. The number one guy that keeps telling people to stop doubting this game coming out. You literally just came out here and said it's never coming out. My man, Flamin', chill. Like, you're like the number one guy that told everybody that we've been doubting this game left and right, and now this man coming out here talking about it's never coming out. Jesus. Let's see. Hey, Box Fanatico, did you hear Sean say the devs told him game is... Yes. I already broke it down. I can't imagine that the build that they're on is as too far away from what we were on. And if it's not that far away from what we were on, I can't see it being 80%. Hey, listen, man, if we get surprised and the game comes out, perfect. But I can't see that. I see it more like the earliest late in the year. Maybe not even December. It could be November or something. But I see it late in the year. I know that the Harry Potter game comes out in December, so it might clash a little bit with that. So, and that game is highly anticipated, so they might have to figure out a way. For me, I don't even care about that Harry Potter game. I'm just playing ESBC when it comes out. But on a overall speaking, broader sense, they might have to dodge that game release. Let's see. How many decades until release? Well, we've already waited 11 years, so I don't know, maybe 11 more. Nah, I think no later than next year. Like, there's no way it'll come out. Like, I can't see it coming out in 2024. I think that's way too far away. No later than next year, but wishful thinking, probably end of this year. Could be end of this year. I'm calling late September release. It's a possibility. That is a possibility. I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know why you're going to be playing Hogwarts Legacy. You've been waiting for ESBC, bro. You love ESBC, my mans. And you're going to play Hogwarts Legacy over ESBC. Chill. Man, that Hogwarts Legacy could come out the same day as ESBC. I'm not playing nothing but ESBC. I'm a competitive player, bro. I just care about competition. Lawrence Horton said, Fanatico, I think the better question is, what about champion pack with Mayweather? Gervonta Davis, Andy Ruiz, that would be dope. Larry loves you. Oh, Lawrence. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, if they have packs, it all depends on the value. If there's a pack with Mayweather and Gervonta Tank Davis, I'll get it, because that pack makes sense. That pack makes a lot of sense. But I'm also a YouTuber, so it's my wanting to get these things is a little bit skewed too, because I'm also thinking about content that I can make. What if Mayweather picked up the game and becomes undefeated in ESBC? I doubt it. Because you could pick up the game, right? And you can know boxing, but it's a whole different thing to knowing how to play a game. It's not boxing. Like, you could implement boxing strategies, but you still have to have that flow of playing, of pressing buttons on a controller and stuff. So there's still a difference there. If you're a good gamer and you know boxing, I think that person has a real good leg up on everybody else. But if you're just a good boxer, I don't think like you're gonna have like a crazy leg up on somebody unless you can pick up the controls real good. Yo, Box Fanatico, how's it going with Elden Ring? I played it a little bit. I played it for a while, actually. I stopped playing it, though. Can't really play those games now, especially after playing ESBC, which is kind of frustrating. It's kind of frustrating. I'm probably the only thing I'm going to play is the WWE game when I go live on my Twitch stream on Monday. Which, by the way, on Monday I go live on Twitch. We keep on having this conversation. Box Fanatical, keep up the amazing work. Can't wait to see you go far with it. I can't wait for the tournaments, actual esports scene. I'm looking to coach people. Yeah, man. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. Hold up. We got a... thank you, Flaming Delta. Moonlight Burial. Oh, Moonlight's in here. What's up, brother? Moonlight Burial, the super chat. Moonlight Burial is a moderator on my Twitch stream. What up, Fanatico? Was there block breaking system? I haven't heard anything about that. There is no block breaking system. I do know that when in the manual mode or in the pro mode or the hardcore mode, that the limbs will start to get damaged. I don't know what that would mean for the actual gameplay, but there wasn't a block breaking system. What it was is that you could position yourself to punch around the guard. You could just get around the guard. Like, you didn't have to break the guard, you just get around it. So the person had to be completely active the whole time while blocking. They couldn't just stay there. Like, you know how, excuse me, you know how in Fight Night you could just stay there, and as long as you're like in Fight Night pump blocking and resetting your meter while they're punching in rhythm of their punches right before it lands, you can still get the guard. Not here. There's no point of pump blocking in this game because you're better off actually holding your block and moving and blocking different parts of your head than you are pump blocking. Pump blocking just gets you punched, and the person could just punch around your guard. So you want to move your upper body. You want to do little things. You want to get outside of range where they can't get around your guard. Like the furthest they can go is right here. You want to do certain things like that. But yeah, there was no block breaker. It was just a realistic thing where you could just punch around their guard. No more Fight Night Champion on the streams. Absolutely not, Darian. No more Fight Night Champion on the streams. Oh, ESBC got to be closed then. You kept it away from us that you were going to go play it. I could only imagine what else you're keeping a secret. Well, I had no choice but to not tell you guys that I was going because unfortunately we were under NDA. So I couldn't say that we were going to go over there until everything was locked in, and then they gave the okay by them revealing that we were going. I promise you though, I'm not keeping anything a secret in terms of this situation right now. I really, truly do not know when the game's coming out, and playing it didn't feel like it was gonna come out. I know I wasn't on the like the current build, but I just can't imagine with us giving them feedback, like gameplay feedback, that their build is so far away from ours. I can't imagine that it would be. Oh, we got a super chat by Dolby Mills. Can you really do Tyson Fury? Oh, turnbuckle weave? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, guys. You actually could go onto the corner, grab the ropes, and move your head. Move your head in the corner. You actually could do that, which is freaking crazy. We never tried it or knew about it. And I guess Rax was trying to give us the opportunity to find it. And then Rax started doing it. And he's like, ooh. And then he was like, I didn't know I could do that, did y'all? And we were like, what the heck? Like, we were all shocked when he did it. And I've done it, I did it, right? Like, I would do it, but just testing it out, not like actually trying to do it. I never actually did it in a fight, because to me, it looks, so you look so vulnerable, bro. Like, your body is just right there and your hands are away from your face and you're just dodging. Like, I would probably do that when playing online to create content and stuff, if I'm timing the person, and then I could kind of trick him into it, like immediately start doing it and get him kind of confused while he's like punching. But I can't see, like, that is a risky thing to do. Your body is wide open. Somebody gonna hit you with a power shot modifier hook to the body, to the liver. Guys, make sure to check out Fanatico's videos. So much info in his vids. Yeah, a lot of info in the vids. If y'all haven't checked out the 1 hour and 20-minute vlog, apparently everybody's liking it. They love it. It's not that cumbersome to watch. They're saying it's entertaining throughout, and there's a lot of cool, like, our first time seeing the game, our first time. And the cool thing is it works because me and Showbiz are talking throughout the entire time. So we're kind of narrating what's happening just simply off the fact that we're talking to each other while we play it for the first time. So you get to see me and Showbiz play it for the first time. You get to see us, all the content creators, see it for the first time. I definitely highly recommend the vlog. And the video, the gameplay video that was like 4 days ago is already almost at 80,000 views, and it's probably going to be my first ESBC video to ever hit 100,000, which is crazy because none of my videos ever hit 100,000 views, and I've been doing ESBC videos since 2020 of August. Crazy. What was it like when your daughter played against the pro tennis player? Oh, Venus? Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I actually caught it at the tail end. I caught it at the tail end because I flew in from North Carolina, and then I took the Uber to the training center because she was there. My wife had brought her, and then I was able to see Venus and them, and they were playing, but I caught it at the tail end. Like, they were there for a while. I think they were there for like 5 hours or something like that. Something crazy. But yeah, my daughter got a point scored a point. She was rallying back and forth, rallying. I posted it on my Twitter with Venus, even though Venus was obviously treating her like, you know, she was up close to the net and she was hitting stuff. But my daughter was able to score a point on Venus Williams, and that was like everything that I ever needed to see in my life. I was good money when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of this girl. So yeah. They've been doing tennis for a good amount of time too. I think they've been playing tennis for like 3 years and a half, almost 4 years, since the age of 3 and 4. And now she's 8. So yeah, they're doing their thing. Boxing Fanatico, is there a gym where you can go and work a speed bag, a heavy bag to build your stats or something like that? In the build that we played, it was literally 100% gameplay. There was nothing involving anything else other than just 100% gameplay. That's it. It was just gameplay. So nothing I could say about that, bro. There's nothing I could say. Let me see something. What? Thought I saw. I wish we had more secrets, but now I just need it in my life. I know. Me too. I wish we had more secrets, but we don't. We don't have more secrets. Fanatico, when you hit around the guard, is that controlled by how long you hold the punch button or by distance? Hopefully my question makes sense. I get it. No, it's controlled by distance. So for example, if somebody's blocking, right? There's a lot of like your positioning where you're hitting the glove until you get to a point where you're finally around it, all right? So I would see somebody put their guard up and I'll jab into the guard. But while I'm jabbing into the guard, I'm also slightly walking inside. Boom, boom. Once I'm in the range where I could see that I could get around the guard, then I throw the hooks. Boom, 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 right around the guard. And I would do that all the time to all the fellas. Boom, 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 and then I move back. And then I would guard. And if I see them in my range, that where they could punch around, I would step back. I'll step back. Like it's chess. You're playing chess. When you play that game, you're playing chess. You're 100% playing chess. Do you move faster when not holding block? I couldn't tell. It didn't look like there was a difference between holding block and not holding block in terms of moving faster. Yes, you can, mate. Wait, what is he responding to? Is it easy to run an ESBC like avoiding action? Oh yeah. You could actually, let me see what study said. You can use the movement to your advantage to just avoid action. Doesn't mean that someone can't cut off the ring and catch you. Hope this helps. Yes, I was just about to say this. You have to be smart and aggressive. It's not like Fight Night Champion, where with Fight Night Champion, I don't mean to keep bashing on Fight Night Champion. You know, that was one of my games from my childhood that I played a lot, and I played competitively when it first came out. So, you know, but it doesn't remove the fact that game is incredibly flawed and doesn't really represent the sport. But just so that you guys can understand where I'm coming from when I'm explaining this, there's a magnetization system in Fight Night. And because there's that magnetization system, you're almost forced to engage and be on the inside almost every single time, because the person is going to magnetize towards you. His punches are going to magnetize towards you. This game is completely untethered. You are not magnetized to your fighter, which could make you miss punches, which could make you be able to escape easier. All of these different things. So the person who's being aggressive has to be aggressive and smart. You have to anticipate where the person's gonna go, especially if the person throws on loose footwork, because now they're backpedaling way faster than they were when they were on textbook. So now what you have to do is literally try to corner them or try to get them on the ropes, but also anticipate where they're gonna go. You have to read where they're gonna go, see what they're gonna do, and try to cut them off. Try to keep cutting them off. And then once you cut them off enough, you get close, and boom, 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 you can start throwing punches at them. But yeah, it's very Like, you are on your own. There's nothing holding your hand. There's not like, oh, we're just gonna magnetize your punch, so don't worry, just throw it in range. We'll make sure it lands. No, it's like, oh, it didn't land because he leaned a little bit and I was here and I needed to be right here. And when I was right here, he moved slightly, so he's here. And here I'm out of range, so I'm missing my punches going over his head. I need to be a little bit here. Like, it's crazy how minute those little things are and how you have to kind of figure out where you need to be at all times. But yeah, you have to be smart and aggressive. You can't just be aggressive. Fight Night Champion, you just needed to be aggressive. You didn't need to be smart because the person's legs, it was like he was walking in mud. He couldn't really move. So you could just easily get to him. Even if you didn't cut off the ring too much, you could easily get to the guy and start throwing punches because of the magnetization. I hope that helps. Is there an instance that you could be knocked out cold? It didn't happen in the build that we had. There were flash knockdowns. I didn't see a flash knockout, but I did see there were moments where you just got flash knocked down. Can you block well in loose movement mode? Yes, I would block while being in loose movement. To mask certain things that I was doing, I would block. Yeah, for sure. Can you parry off the Philly shell and counter punch? You couldn't parry like this. I didn't see that. However, we only had the semi-auto, which is up and down. So that means with the Philly shell, it's up, right, or down. He'll go like this. With the manual mode, I could imagine that because you could block the corners, right? You could block here and here. I would imagine that they'll have him do something like this. And then in that scenario, then you probably could parry quickly, like boom, and then come in with a counter. Can't wait for no spam and to actually work. Yeah, man, you're going to have to actually work in this game for sure. 100%. 100%. Let's see. Exactly. In Fight Night Champion, fighter has magnets to their gloves, usually forcing inside fighting and punches to lock on. Exactly. It's like a missile target to the face, basically, to the body. It's a missile target. Plus, you could be halfway across the ring and the step in is like you're moving. It's crazy how much distance you cover in Fight Night. You could be so far away and come in and hit somebody, which is crazy to me. With this, your step in is realistic. You're not flying across the ring. You could be here and you can step in like right here. You can't be here and step in all the way over here like you do in Fight Night Champion. You be here and step in here. And it's risky to do the step in. I only use the step in when I was super outside of range. I would step in right outside of range and then creep forward. Because if you stepped in outside of range and go in range, you were vulnerable. You couldn't just punch. The only way you could do it is if you did the step in punch, which is when you're stepping in and punching at the same time. But you have to, it's only a realistic distance. You have to be like this far away and then you can come in and go boom. Like, you won't be able to hit him, but you can come in from here and hit him with a hook. Oh, we got another super chat by Dolby Mills. Will you be able to create a camp and be a coach, promoter, or cutman for online fighters? I think you could create coaches, promoters, and cutmen. I think you could create them from what they said, but we don't know anything of that. We don't know anything more than what you would know that from the information that's already out, because we didn't talk about anything like that. Where would you control the swelling and fix the cuts? We didn't talk about any of that stuff. It was strictly gameplay focused, 100% gameplay only. Don't make sense, those 200 people in chat getting in his brain. What? What are you talking about? 200 people in the chat getting in my brain? I'm confused by that, Quine. Which are better fighters in the game, outside or inside? Or does it depend on your style? Which are better fighters in the game? I don't know for sure. Like I said, the meta will materialize over time. We will know over time what's the best thing to do. We only was able to figure out what's the best thing. Like if you were to say, okay, if based off of my experience, because I won the tournament, because I was virtually unbeatable at the second day, you would say, okay, outside fighting is probably the best way. But that might not be so. There might be somebody who figures something else out. Or over time, the community pieces something together and figure out the best possible way to play it. So it's hard to say. Based off of our finite 2-day experience, it looked like outside fighting won out, but it was me doing the outside fighting. Like, I don't know if, like, what it would have been if it was somebody else doing inside fighting. Like, if they would have been able to overwhelm what I was doing. So it's hard to tell with just 4 people. It's just really, really hard to tell, to be honest. And we need more people and all this stuff. It's a lot of people. How do people doubt this game and compare it to UFC and Fight Night Champion? Man, because that's the last game we had, bro. That's the last boxing license game. So when the game drops, assuming there's no OP body hooks like our build, I will still stand by the meta will be skill, as there was a way to beat every style. That's true. That's true. That's true. One thing that I did to make sure that I was difficult to beat is I made sure that I was great on the back foot and great on the inside. So it's like, let's go. You want to be on the inside? I'm gonna be deceptive. You want to try to be super aggressive? I'm gonna be on the back foot. So I basically put them in a no-win situation. And one of the reasons, like one of the best ways that was depicted was the fight between me and Coach's Corner, because Coach's Corner was that guy, and I think I took that away from him in our fight in the tournament when I was doing all these little quirks and little like smart ways of being on the inside with him. And then I won the fight basically on the inside. I think there was only one time he looked at me and he's like, "Man, your loose footwork ain't ish." And I was like, "Oh, word?" I turned that loose footwork on. And I hit him with some loose footwork, and then I came back inside. I really wanted to just try to beat him at his own game, basically. But it was so fun, bro. It was so fun. He literally whispered to me like, "Yo, your loose footwork ain't ish." And I was like, "What, man? How dare you say that?" I started doing loose. I was like, "Word, I'm gonna turn the loose footwork on right now. Then let's go." It was like round 7 or round 8. It was super fun, man. I loved it. I loved it. I'm very much looking forward to our fights and selling out the Dallas Stadium. Exactly. We're going to sell out Dallas, man. We're going to sell out the Cowboy Stadium, baby. I'm an OG. I've been around your channel for 2 years now. Thank you, Flynn. Yeah, I do remember your name for sure. From back in 2020, I 100% remember your name. How does it compare to that 3D boxing game? It's a much better boxing mechanic than the 3D boxing game. 3D boxing game has cool things that you could do, like switching your stance and stuff, and holding out your punch and stuff like that. But this has a lot of different things. Like you could do different types of punches based off of your different types of movement. It has a loose footwork. All of that lends to all this like it's almost like it really feels like you're playing chess in this game over any other boxing game I've ever played. Over any other boxing game. Anyways, guys, I have to end the stream here. I actually went 2 hours in this stream. Went 2 hours. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was super cool to have you guys here. I hope I answered enough of your questions. You already know your boy. You already know your boy not playing. My man Kwine is spamming up in here. Kwine, listen, hey. Can you parry off the Philly shell and counter punch off of it? I already said you can't parry from the build that we had, because we didn't have the manual mode, so we couldn't test it. But yes, you can roll. You could roll, have your shoulder roll, and then because you can punch off of that, because you could punch and block like the punch and block like this. I'm saying it works like this. You could literally just bam, like you could keep your guard and shoot the straight right after you roll it. That's what I was doing to Showbiz. Oh, we got a suit. I was just gonna show y'all this though before, you know what I'm saying? I was just gonna show y'all my man Muhammad Ali. Ooh, it's your boy. That's hard work, dedication right there, baby. Got that Muhammad Ali card. Won it. Perfect Jab. Gotta do it, man. This man hit me with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Perfect Jab. I appreciate you. Or Project Jab, my fault. Project Jab. Perfect Jab. Look at that. That's how much respect I got for you. I hope this game really embodies the global sport of boxing. The one thing about Fight Night I hated was it felt too American. That is true. With little international flavor sprinkled in. Speaking as an American. That is true. That is true. This does, I feel like this will have that feeling where it's like, it's much broader. It's much broader. And you'll feel like it's touching all the different parts of the world. Study got a video he dropped in talking about pros and cons on loose movement and loose movement versus non-loose movement. As long as I can cut the ring on loose movement, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to be able to cut the ring, but it depends who you playing, bro. Because the best ring cutter offer, that sounds mad weird, but the best ring cutting player was King Juice. And when I went on loose footwork, it was no joke, bro. I would do little things, stop on a dime, like bang, 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 bang. And it would, like, my player would just stop on a dime, stop on a dime, stop on a dime, stop on a dime. And it was very confusing. And then I would try to read what he would anticipate me doing and then do the opposite. And then just go, woo. And then because your feet are so fast, you're just getting out of there. Whoo, whoo, whoo. Like, the person really has to be smart. I'm telling you, bro, I had a 120, 108, every scorecard won. And I played that fight against King Juice in loose footwork from the beginning bell to the end. And it made it so that King Juice didn't even like Rocky Marciano anymore. He hated Rocky Marciano from that fight, bro. From that fight. And I remember Showbiz and Coach was watching, and they're like, what the heck is this, bro? This is crazy. How are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I was just boop, 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 rolling in, coming in, step-ins, moving, angling out, spinning around, Bro, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Oh, we got a super chat. Eat More Gaming, $4.99 super chat, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And maybe that was a super sticker. It looked like it was a super sticker. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Much appreciated. Bro, he did answer that question about the counter off the shelf multiple times. I know, bro. Kwine, did you go to sleep when I answered that? Wait. Usyk glove? Crazy. Congrats. Oh, yeah. Study won a signed glove by Usyk. Yeah, he won a signed Usyk glove, which is crazy. Love your knowledge of the sport. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. That's one of the things that helps with the game. 100% helps with the game. But it also helps if you're a gamer. If you're a gamer, that helps as well. All right, guys. I got to go. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the card, looking at the card, looking at the beautiful controller. Look at this. Look at this. Look at how beautiful. Like, look at the detail. Like, they had to change the buttons. This is not just a sticker, bro. This is like everything. Like, they did mad work on this bad boy. Jeez. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.